song down. All right, welcome. So today is Saturday. It is the day before our preseason game against, who was it today? West Ham. So, just watched the Ruben Amorim interview. Okay, this man, whatever you might want to say about him, whether you like him or dislike him, his interviewing, his interviews and watching them is like one of my favorite things. Like the way he answers, not it's not just the way he answers a question. It's like what he says when he answers these questions. Is the meaning behind these answers. It's so it's just what we need. It's so intelligent. It's so like it just makes you as a fan and as a like if you've played or anything like that, it should make you super excited every time. Like this interview was unbelievable, and I commented on one of the interviews, and I got a lot of people asking me questions like, "Why do you think Amarim is the guy?" This and that. Because my comment was, "This is the guy. This is the coach that's gonna bring us back to the top." And I believe that. I truly believe that. Just one, I don't. I He doesn't hide anything from anybody. Like at every interview, he tells you exactly how it is. Yes, he has to be coy about certain things, like the whole Rashford situation, Garnacho situation, that type of stuff. Does he want more players coming in? All of that stuff, he has to be coy. He answers it, giving you the answer that he kind of wants to give you, but you know from that answer, like the truth. They asked him, "Do you think that you need a striker and all these other players?" And he said, "You know, the club has a plan, blah, blah, blah. I'll be happy if I have to play the season with this team." From that answer, you could tell that yes, he wants a striker. Yes, he wants a goalkeeper, most likely. Like, let's be honest. If we can see that he needs a goalkeeper and a striker, he knows, okay? He'll go on record and say that Rasmus is a good player and all of this stuff because he has to. You can't just like destroy a player's confidence in the media and then expect him to go score goals if he has to be here. So like how how do you guys expect him to say, "Yeah, well, Rasmus just isn't that good. I need a striker"? That's impossible. Now the kid is not gonna want to one play for you and two have much confidence when he does play for you. So the like notion of him like of those questions is so irritating. Like those questions are so irritating because he can't answer those, man. Like how can he really answer those questions and you expect him to like lead a team and be a good manager? The fact that he doesn't answer the questions already shows that he knows how to handle the BS. Second, asked about Mainu, perfect answer. He needs to pick up his pace. Mainu is a fantastic footballer. Yes, I get it. He holds the ball well. He could take players on. He can score a goal. But he plays in like slow mo most of the time. He has to pick up the pace, especially if he's gonna play one of two like midfielders in that in the formation that we play. You're talking about a lot of teams are gonna have three midfielders most of the time. So you have to be like you have to run, man. You have to run in the system. It's just that simple. You do. So Kobe has to pick it up. But he goes on and says how talented he is, how he is in his plans, of course, because he is an extremely talented player. But he also says the things that are true. He just needs to pick up the pace. Like he just does. Not when he has the ball at his feet, but before that, like the running that you have to do. He just has to improve that. People say, "Oh, he's the most talented since Scholes." Scholes had to develop that. Like Scholes had to do that running. Because he wasn't the most athletic, and he'll say himself, Scholes, he wasn't the most athletic guy, so he had to do a lot of running, man. He ran all over that field. A lot of Scholes' offense was the give and go because he knew that that's how he could create the most space for himself. He wasn't gonna beat players 1v1. His his way of creating space for himself to create and to like drive an offense was the give and go. You would see it all day, give and go, right back. And that's what Kobe needs to learn how to do to make space for himself. He's he can also dribble past players, don't get me wrong, but he also, if he can start creating like that, like his offense will open up so much better, and his passing does need to improve a little bit. But he's a great player. He just has to get better. He's only 20 years old or whatever. You guys are like trying to push him onto the scene. Not every single 20-year-old has to start. Like, we're so desperate that we want all of these young players to start, and it's so unfair. Garnacho 18 with the with the uh everybody at Manchester United and the English media putting every piece of like stress on this kid, and you guys expect these young players to just eat it and take it. No, man, it's so unbelievable. Like, it's annoying. Do you not see how negative the media is every single week with Manchester United? And you want these young players to start, the Obies, the Kobe's, the Alejandro Garnachos. It's so idiotic. If we had a really good team already, you know what I mean? If we had a team where Cunha and Womo had been on the team, and then you have a Garnacho and a Kobe coming in, let's say this season, and then you want them to start next season, yeah, that might be a little bit more understandable because we had a team that was built. We had a good team already. We had a good base. You always have to have a good, strong base before you start bringing in and putting like a lot of what, like, why am I blanking on the word, like when a player just has a lot of responsibility, right? You're putting a lot of responsibility on a young kid, but the team sucks, so the responsibility is even greater. It's just a ridiculous statement. The way you bring kids up at the best times is when you already have a base set up. So the way we've been bringing these young players has been the reason why we just like, it just shows we are not a good team, and we cannot continue to try to put all of that on top of the shoulders of these young kids. Like, I'm sorry, Kobe shouldn't have to start right now. Yes, he is. Yes, he has quality. Yes, he has potential. Yes, he has an unbelievable future. But he doesn't have to start now. Like, I'm sorry, he doesn't. He has to get better. He has things to improve. If we were a better team, then you can hide some of that stuff while he improves throughout his playing career. But we're not. We don't have a way of hiding holes. You know, once we've built that, once we have, yes, yes, it's fine. Yes, but we don't have that built. We can't just do that. We can't. So I'm glad that Amarim, like, isn't just gonna push it because the media wants it or the fans think that he's ready. I'm sorry. I love Kobe, but he is not ready. He does not run enough, and that's just the truth. We cannot play with Bruno and him, and unfortunately, Bruno is more important to our team than Kobe is at the moment. So yeah, it is what it is. The positions that we're lacking is striker and goalkeeper. I don't believe that we're that 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 lacking at the other positions. Do I want an extremely, like, if we're gonna keep Bruno for a long time, do I want a like extremely athletic player next to him? 100%. Which, if Kobe, that's the thing, is Kobe is not that technically, right? But if he starts running and he picks up the pace, then maybe he can be that guy because he can hold on to the ball. The only problem would be the ball winning in that midfield of him and Bruno. That's the problem. Is, I think we needed Bruno for like this season, maybe next season, and then I think Bruno is gone after next season because he definitely doesn't. If he's not gonna play one of the two temp positions, he doesn't fit our team, and you know it's fine, but I want him to win something before he leaves. So I would love to see us win like a title next year. Let's say. I just don't believe we're gonna win one this year. Like, it's impossible. Not with the team we have. The only thing that might make it semi possible and like have given us a very small chance is that we aren't playing any European football. Like, that pretty much every game that we go into is gonna be with our starters unless there's an injury, right? I mean, we're gonna have one game a week pretty much. And honestly, during FA Cup games and stuff, he should play the bench and some of the youngsters. Like, I think that should be our season. Our season should be playing our starting 11 every single Premier League game, and like the cup games and stuff, the young kids should play. It's just what I think. We'll see what happens. I think the fact that in the first preseason game we saw a very split team, couple starters, couple bench players, couple young kids coming up on both both first and second half. I think he's getting them used to playing because they're gonna be playing like one of those teams is gonna be playing on like in the FA Cup and those kind of games, and the other team's gonna be playing probably the league. You know what I mean? I think you switch the defenders from the second team to the first, and you pretty much have your starting 11 except for Xerxes up front over Obi probably. Um, but yeah, that's like the starting 11. So he's already kind of like setting it up so that he can, so everyone could really play with each other. And I think that's the biggest thing he's gonna do with preseason until the next two games. I would say after today, he might still do it today, or he might want to just start getting the starting 11 together. We'll see. I think the first game, that one game away, he just kind of wanted to mix it up. We'll see how serious we're gonna start taking preseason if we start with like our starting 11 in the first half today. He might still like switch up the defense. I think he might keep the defense a little bit different still and not be like the full 11. But I think he's gonna at least go midfield and attackers as the starters today. That's my belief. So we'll see. But we talk about the interview process of why I believe Amorim is the guy. But then let's talk about what I expected once he came in. Once he came in, right? He came into, let's be honest here, a shit show. It's just super honest. We won an FA Cup, but our team wasn't, still didn't have a style of play. This was my problem. Eric Ten Hag had probably 40% of his players were from Ajax, players he had coached before. And then the others were players he purchased, right? He purchased a bunch of players. How did we not, by his third season, still have no style of play? Like, I watched Man United play, and I wanted to fall asleep every single game. There was nothing. There was even that Man City FA Cup final. We get a lucky Garnacho goal, and then yes, the Kobe Mainu, Bruno, beautiful. That was a good goal. That was the only good part in that game to me. Like the other parts, I thought City were gonna come back, tie us, and beat us. Like I didn't even believe in us that whole game. There was nothing that we were showing that made me believe. But we hid the fact that we finished in, I think it was 12 that season, right? That we finished in 12 just with the FA Cup win. As Oli said, you can hide behind a trophy, but it's the league finish that really tells you how good the team is. And then what happens? We start again the season. We still play like crap. It's still really boring to watch us. There's nothing still haven't been built. I might just still sit on the bench behind Anthony. What are we doing? Like, I'm sorry, what are we doing? Garnacho's coming off of the left and only shooting. That was the only thing that Garnacho did under Eric Ten Hag. So, was that coaching? Did the coach tell him to do that? Or was that him? Because the whole time, that's all he did. So, if you're a coach and that's not your instruction, then that guy probably wouldn't play. Do you know what I'm saying? So, it was horrendous. It was horrendous. And that's what he came into. He came into a team that wasn't properly coached. If you think they were, I don't see how you could think that. That weren't playing any type of style. Honestly, if you go back into those games and you watch when one of our players gets the ball, they would have to like legitimately look up and try to figure out where to go with the ball. That's not that there's no tactics there at that point. If your player gets the ball and automatically doesn't know where he's like looking to go with the ball, and he's just kind of like, oh man, what are we doing? They would just stand there and go like this. What are we doing? There was nothing. That's literally what Amarin came into. So then I thought to myself, what does he need to do from here until the end of the season. Okay. Establish a way of play. Okay. Did he do that? Yes. Okay. Did we improve in the way that we played the style of play? 100%. I understand that the results were not the thing that people wanted. I get that. You can't you can't say you can't deny the results, right? The results are the results. They happen. But did we get a grasp of his system and his style from when he got there to now? 1,000%. Like 1,000%. When he first got there, even though they had a couple of good games, Liverpool, I think City, maybe Arsenal, something like that, it was very up and down. It was like they couldn't get the ball past our half. There was no build up play. It was impossible to build from the back and get it to the strikers or the midfielders or the forwards. We went from that until about the Ipswich game. Then from the Ipswich game on, we played pretty good football. The only thing we were lacking was finishers. Was an attack that wasn't led by 20-year-old young kid. Like the fact that our starting three were 20-year-old Garnacho, 22-year-old Rasmus Højlund, and 22-year Ahmad is a disgrace. It's a disgrace that that's what our starting like forwards were. And then what happens towards the end of the season? Ahmad gets hurt, and so does Circe, who was starting to play very well under Amorim, who was starting to play very well. He got hurt. We got a little screwed towards the end of the season there with those two guys being hurt because we just didn't have anybody else. We didn't have anybody else. It it's so unbelievable that we can't at least just look at the full picture before we just talk about like the results only, right? Because yes, we lost, but let's take a look at like okay, since the Ipswich game, we had maybe one game we played that was bad, and that was Newcastle. That Newcastle game, we were bad. I 100% will say that that was the only game in that whole period that we played. But apart from that, okay, Forest, right? We lose to Forest. That Forest game, we had 68% possession, 23 shots, six on goal, and three big chances created. We lost 1-0. I'm sorry, we're not losing that game this season with Cunha and Mbomo up front. We're just not. Who else? Wolves, 60% possession, 12 shots, two shots on target, one goal. We have their best player. We're not losing that game. We lost 1-0. Bournemouth tied 1-1. 62% possession, 25 shots, 6 on target, 2 big chances, tied 1-1. West Ham, 52% possession, 20 shots, 5 on target, 4 big chances, 2-0 loss. We are not losing those types of games. We are just not losing those types of games. We had games where we were taking more than 20 shots. I mean, you look at Fulham, FA Cup game, 20 shots, 9 on target, 5 big chances, lost. At home. How? You blame that on the manager? We took 20 shots, 9 on target, 5 big chances. You're going to blame the manager on that? Really? Who is this? 21 shots, 8 shots on goal, 6 big chances. The game before Wolves. That like we were creating after Bournemouth, 14 shots on goal, 14 shots, 7 on goal, 5 big chances. Like we were creating. We after like from the Ipswich game on, we were creating. You look at the Ipswich game, we get a red card, but beginning of that game, we finally looked like a team that knew what they were supposed to do. The ball was going from defender to forward. Like the style of play just it became smoother. So did we improve throughout the season? Yes. Yes, we did. Okay. What else? Is he handling certain things the way I want them to be handled? 100%. The whole Marcus Rashford situation handled it greatly. I love Rashford. I think he's a fantastic player, and I know so does Amram, and so does a lot of people in the world. But it's been his mentality. It's been as simple as that. It's either been his health or his mentality. He has not looked happy at Manchester United. Part of it has been the fans, and part of it has been what our club was under Eric Ten Hag. Like, it was a joke. I never felt like Eric Ten Hag had a hold of any power or anything of that club. Like, I didn't believe that he was a true leader. He just didn't feel like one. I'm sorry, but he didn't. Now you come in here and you actually handle the right people the right way, right? Like Eric Ten Hag tried to handle Cristiano Ronaldo and did it in the worst absolute way. He didn't handle a player like, let's say, Garnacho, and he let him keep building this way of being. And then now Amram has to be the guy that has to be like, yeah, Garnacho, like, you're not consistent enough to start. What do you want me to do? You started 30 something games this, or you played in 30 something games this season, and you had 4 goals. It's not good enough. It's not good enough to start at Manchester United. So, what do you want? Yeah, guess what? We're going to bring in a player. If you don't want to fight, if you don't want to sit behind them, learn, or get better because you're 20 years old, so be it. You have to go. But that's what a manager does. He comes in and he says, okay, this is how it's going to go. You don't want to be part of it? You're not? Okay, then go. It's as simple as that. Because one person that doesn't like you, two people that don't want to, that you keep around that don't want to be there. Guess what? They start planning season to everybody else. Now the ship starts going because nobody's following the captain. That's just how it goes. Look at his stint at Sporting. He came in and he kicked out, I think it was 2 or 3 players that had been there for a long time that were like quote unquote club legends, let's say. And he got rid of them. And at first, the fans were like, "What's going on?" Blah blah blah. And guess what? A team that hadn't won a championship in almost 20 years won 2 league titles in 3 seasons. Guess what? Because what did he do? He came in and did what you're supposed to do. Do you think that anybody would be able to get away with anything under Ferguson? Did he not ship people out who he was like, "All right, fine, you don't want to be here, get the fuck out"? Like, are we serious? So yeah, we finally have somebody with some freaking cojones who actually does what he's supposed to. Oh well, he should have tried to get results last year. For what? For what? To finish 10th, ninth, 8th, for you to be a little bit happier instead of playing his style and getting them to learn and get to this point at least. Because now, at least at this point, I feel very comfortable except for our finishing. And guess what? We just got 2 players that, hey, are pretty good at that. So why wouldn't I be a little excited about my team going into the season? I definitely am. I definitely am because now you have more goals on the team, and we needed that. That was like our biggest need. Now, do we need a striker? 1,000%. But I don't think we're not anywhere near as bad as we were last season in the finishing department. Now, you start Xerxes up front. The combination that can happen between Xerxes, Cunha, and Bomo could be very nice. It could be very nice. Like, hold up play between Xerxes, like for Xerxes to play those guys into those channels and then him come in late and those guys take people on. It could be really fun. So I'm not like what we've built up to now. I'm excited about. Like, if you're not, well, that sucks for you. You're not you're not putting everything into one big picture, like a clear picture. You're not. We are building something, and Amram is building something. And another reason why I believe in him is the type of players that he's bringing in, the quality. It's just as simple as that. Cunha and Mbomo are better signings than anything that Eric Ten Hag brought in. Anything Eric Ten Hag brought in, and he paid less than he paid for Hoyland for each of them, pretty much. I mean, not like together, but like each of them were less than Hoyland. Like, why wouldn't I be excited? Why wouldn't I think that this guy's the right guy? The youngsters he's brought in, I like Diego Leon. I like the profile that he has. I like the potential he has. Haven, I love the style of player that he is. I love the potential he has. Dorgu, I also believe he has great potential. So what? Like, why wouldn't I be excited? Why wouldn't I be excited about what's going on? Like, I honestly know that the results didn't go our way last season. But even look at the Tottenham game. I think that was the game that I was talking about. The Tottenham game. Okay, finals, Tottenham. We lose 1-0. 16 shots, 6 on target, 3 big chances. We lose 1-0 to Tottenham. This was not. This was never on the manager. This hasn't been on the manager. This has been on the players, bro. And if you don't believe that, then I'm sorry. You're being too lenient to the players. It's been on the players. Eric Ten Hag built a team that he thought he was gonna have like 5 more years with, and that's unfair for him. One, for him to think that, and for us as fans to have to wait 6 years to like finally see a team that's any type of good. Like you can't do that, man. The players he should have been signing were the exact same profile that Amarin was looking at. 25-year-olds that are experienced, still have room to grow, but have shown improved it for multiple years. We spent so much money on Hoyland and he had like maybe one solid season. What? I get the potential because I actually don't think that Rasmus is as bad as he's looked or been with us. I really don't believe he's that bad. I don't think he's had enough service, and some of the players he's had to play with a long time are just not that good. Like, for example, Dallo. I think Dallo has ruined a lot of chances for Hoyland. Even the first preseason game, there's a point where Hoyland is screaming at him, and it was correct. There was an easy pass in front towards like the goal where Hoyland could take a one-time right-footed shot at goal and probably score because he's honestly a solid finisher. And Dallo takes another long touch and then plays this outside of the right foot, like just horrible pass away from the goal towards like on Hoyland's right foot, which makes it harder at that point. What are we like? What are you doing, bro? Dallo, like your IQ is so low, man. You're so lucky that you're a great that you're a great athlete, or else you just wouldn't have ever made it anywhere because your football IQ is just god awful. Uh, that's kind of part of what's been bad is low IQ players all over the pitch, and guess what? We're getting high IQ players now. Like we are. Look at Haven. Haven is so young, and his IQ is through the roof. And yes, you can say that Dorgo and Diego Leon, let's say you might be like, oh, well, their IQ isn't that high. They're like 18, 19 years old. Dorgo played half a season with a brand new team. Like, what are we talking about? We don't know what their IQ is. Honestly, not yet. So I won't take anything against those two guys at all. But in Bomo Cunha, bro, you already have highlights and you can see that their IQ is what we need. Is better than what we had. That's it. That's just what it is. We are better this season than we were last. Because in you could look at the roster we had last season, but guys like Rashford, Anthony, Sancho, and Garnacho, and those three guys, for example, weren't playing with us. Garnacho was. He might still be because, like Hammer said in that press conference, if you don't get ball, brother, you're gonna play for us, and now you have crazy competition in front of you. So now what? So now you're gonna have to play at your best, and if you, like he said, want to play in the World Cup, guess what? You're gonna have to play games. So what are you gonna really do? So yeah, I mean, there's too many reasons as why Amarim for me is the guy that is gonna bring us back, or why I believe in him. I definitely, I believed in Oli at one point. I thought Oli was inexperienced, but I thought he was a good enough man manager that he could maybe win some trophies. But this is the first guy since like okay, Mourinho. I get it. I knew we could win trophies with Mourinho, but I just didn't think that he wanted to stay here for the amount of time that I want a manager to be here. I want them to be here at least 10 years, and I think Amarim wants to do that. So yeah, this is the first guy since Fergie that I've been extremely excited about. just from everything that's been happening, from what I hear in interviews, from what I see on the field, from what I've seen of what he does behind the scenes, all of the stuff. I've been very like happy about. Everything has looked good. Yes, Mbomo's deal took forever, but we did a very good bit of business. Paying his fee over 4 installments is unbelievably good business. So I can understand why that took forever for Brentford to say yes to. But that's great business. We took a long time. We got the price that we wanted. Yes, they got the price that they wanted, but we were able to pay it how we wanted. Like, it's been good business. Unfortunately, the contracts that were there before they got there are hard to get rid of, and that's why we haven't gotten rid of players. Because if Sancho was making 200,000 a month a week, I mean, he would have been gone. If Rashford was making 280, he would have been gone. If Anthony was making in the 200s, he would have been gone. But they were all making, like, if Anthony was like 180, he would have been gone. So it's just they got they got the short end of the stick, and it really is, and that's what happened. And they've done a pretty good job. I mean, they got rid of Rashford's whole salary, and then if somehow he has to come back, they get $5 million. The same thing with Sancho. They got rid of the contract. He came back, and he came back with us getting paid 5 million to then hopefully sell again. So the way we've been conducting our business hasn't been that bad. Like, it has been really good. So that's why I'm excited. Everything from top to bottom finally seems like it's connected. That's like the best way I guess I could say it. It's finally connected. There's clear messages from top to bottom. There's clear communication. Everything is very clear, and those are things that make me excited about what's coming and why I believe in Amorim. So yeah, I don't have anything really else to say. I mean, I could really go on as to why I believe him, but the video would just get too long. But in all honesty, let's go Man United. I'm extremely excited to watch us play tonight. And yeah, glory, glory, baby, because there's only one club, and it's Manchester United. Have a good